What's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. Before this video starts, I do want to let you guys know there is a new episode over on Quest's channel of the transformation series that I did with him. This one is with Nathan. He has I think it's one of my favorite episodes of the series, so please go check it out if you haven't yet. It's on their channel. I'll link it down in the description. It's a really cool video that I'm very proud of, so if you could go watch that, I would really appreciate it. Maybe like comment that you're from my channel or something like that. That would be awesome. Let's get into the video now. So in today's video, I want to talk about an article that was written a while ago. It was like a week ago, and people have, I've never been tagged in an article and like had as many people message me about making a video about an article as this article. It's like so many people have hit me up. So I think that's really cool. So I appreciate you guys for bringing it to my attention. So this article was from the New York Times, and basically the article is going to be linked and everything if you want to check it out and read it for yourself. So if you want to do that. But basically the article, it follows people that were on The Biggest Loser, I believe from season 8, right? So it follows all of them about 6 years post show. And basically what the article found was that pretty much all of the contestants ended up gaining all their weight back. A lot of them, gained a good amount of weight back. A lot of them, got back to the level they were at before they started the show, and then some of them actually got heavier than they were on the show. And I think that, most people that have been following The Biggest Loser kind of know that that's a thing, People go on the show, lose the weight, and then gain it back after they go on. But what the study did was it tried to track what was happening. Like, why was the reason that they were gaining the weight back? And what it found was that people that lost the weight like that, like on The Biggest Loser, their metabolism actually slowed down. I've talked about that a little bit on my channel, but it showed that their metabolism slowed down and like it wasn't rebuilding after the show. 6 years after the show, it showed that one guy was burning 800 less calories when he was just, his seated metabolism not doing anything. He burned 800 less calories than someone else his size. And when they started the show, their metabolism was burning the same as much as someone their size should burn. And so people have kind of messaged me and they're really concerned. And I totally understand why. So they're really concerned because they have a lot of weight to lose. They're maybe like morbidly obese and they have a lot of weight to lose, and they read this study and they see the results and they think to themselves, there's no way that I can lose the weight and keep it off. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I just kind of want to, give my perspective on this article, because it's gone around a lot. I'm sure you've heard about it. If you haven't, like I said, it'll be linked down in the description. But the thing that I think that we need to make sure that we're looking at is that in this study, it's only people that were on The Biggest Loser. And when people are on The Biggest Loser, they are going in insane diets. Like literally, I've read that they maybe eat 700 calories, 500 calories, and these people are morbidly obese. And on top of that, they're working out like 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 hours a day, every single day. Now that's not realistic for anyone that's outside of a TV show, that's outside of, you're not gonna be doing that. And I think it showed that because they burn the calories so fast, that's kind of what their metabolism ended up dropping. And then it also said in the article that their leptin levels are basically what controls your hunger. So when your leptin levels are messed up, you are just hungry all the time. And it showed that, when they were on the show, their leptin levels like tanked, and they went up a little bit after they were done, but not all the way back to normal. So that's gonna, when they lost the weight and when they're trying to maintain, they're hungrier than anyone else would be at their weight. So that makes, obviously, we all know that when you're hungry, you want to eat. So it makes trying to maintain weight loss a lot harder. So I just want you guys to understand that, this article, this whole thing was about people that were on The Biggest Loser. And that's why I always recommend trying to do weight loss in the most healthy and normal way possible and not try to go extreme, because there's so many things that can go wrong. It's really hard to maintain weight loss when you lose 200 pounds in 6 months. Like, could you imagine? That's crazy to me. Like, I couldn't even imagine losing that much weight. So they're losing that much weight really rapidly. And then it's like, we have to realize, and they said this in the article a little bit too, which I thought was really cool, was like, we have to treat weight loss different than maintaining weight loss. They're two different things, and I think that's really important, because I think a lot of us have heard, losing the weight is the easy part, which I don't think it's easy, but I really do believe that it's easier than maintaining weight loss. The reason being is because you feel like you should reward yourself after, you know, you've lost the weight that you wanted to lose. And usually people that are morbidly obese, they have terrible relationships with food. And so the way that you're gonna end up, you know, giving yourself that reward is by eating food. And then you end up feeling bad that you ate food, and then it just kind of spirals and you go back up the scale. So I just want you guys to understand that this article, I don't want you to be discouraged, because I really believe, I believe in myself. I believe that I will always maintain my weight loss. I will always maintain my fitness. But I want you guys to understand that this article was about people on The Biggest Loser, and they're going through things that hopefully you never do when you're trying to lose weight. So that's why I always recommend, like I said, losing weight in a sustainable way, in a slow, controlled way that you understand how you're losing weight. You're not just cutting everything out and just basically starving yourself and then over-exercising. Because personally, I feel like the more extreme you go and crazy, like insane you go when you're losing weight, the harder it is to maintain afterward. And this study kind of showed that, you know, when you go super crazy, your metabolism tanks, and then your leptin levels are all messed up, so you're burning less calories in a day than you should, and you're hungrier than you should be. So I hope, if anything, I hope that this article shows you, you know, yeah, losing the weight fast is awesome, but remember, especially if you're not on The Biggest Loser, you're not gonna get a reward for losing 150 pounds in 6 months. There's no point other than you feeling like you accomplished something, but trust me, it's not worth it, and it's hard, and I understand that it's hard to really think like that, because when you're obese and you start to really see progress, it's hard not to try and just cut and cut and cut, because I've been there, you know, I've been that person that cut calories. I've talked about it on my channel a bunch, but it's always better to do it in a more controlled manner when you're losing weight and really trying to focus on losing maybe 1 pound to 2 pounds a week, not going super crazy, because all it's gonna do is mess up your metabolism and mess up, you know, so many things. Also, like, that's why I really don't like The Biggest Loser anymore. Like, I used to be kind of inspired by it. I remember when I was heavier, I actually wouldn't watch it. My mom used to watch it all the time, and when it would come on, I would walk out of the room because it made me feel bad. But now, I was talking to someone last night, and they said, like, well, think about it like this, like The Biggest Loser, it's really terrible for the people that are on it, right? But maybe it's good for all the people that are watching. And I kind of agreed, but now that I think about it more, I think it's obviously terrible, horrible for the people that are competing, because they end up just going on this crazy roller coaster, right? But even the people that are watching, they get this misinterpretation of how much weight they should be losing, and you really start to, because it's human nature to compare yourself, right? So you start to compare yourself to these people that are losing 10 pounds a week, 8 pounds a week, every single week, and you're starting to think, like, that's what I should be doing. If I have 200 pounds to lose, I should be losing it in a year or in 6 months. But that's not the case. That's not true. That's not how weight loss should be done. It should be done sustainably. It should be done, you know, slowly. It should, like, there's so much more that goes into it. The Biggest Loser is about making money. Period. That's all they care about. It's a show. They want to make money. So the more weight the person loses on the show, the more money the show makes. And when those people are off the show, yeah, maybe the winner might get some sort of help for a couple years, but once everyone forgets about the winner, so does the show, and then the winner goes back to their original weight. So I do want you guys, like, if you haven't read the article, I would recommend reading it, but I don't want you to read it and then think to yourself that you're kind of a lost cause, because I don't believe that at all. I think, if anything, this article really cements the fact that you should really try not to go on crash diets and just cut your calories and just eat nothing. You should really try and do it in a sustainable way, in a maintained way, in a way that you can, you know, maintain after you lose the weight, and then really try and work on the mental state while you're losing the weight, because I think that's a big part of it too. That's definitely not talked about enough. You know, your mental health when you are losing the weight. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I know it's kind of everywhere, but it's a really interesting topic, and I would love, like, the reason I wanted to make this video is because I want to hear your guys' opinion on the article. So please go check out the article. Go check out that video I talked to you about in the beginning of this video on Quest Nutrition's YouTube channel. It's a super awesome video. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am! That was okay.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, Don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.